Shalom Aleichem. Welcome to Breslov Research Web Seminar, Parshat Tzav. It's also this year, it's known as Shabbat Hagadol, the Great Shabbos, the Shabbos before Pesach. And that means we better clean out our houses and we better get rid of all the Chametz. So let's start with the Magister that Reb Noson brings. Tzav, order, command, right? The Magister says, why Tzav? Because ein mezarzen ela limezurozin. You only encourage the people who want to be encouraged, or who are encouraged, or who work with encouragement. Okay? Because, things that we have to do anyway. And you're not going to get out of the things that you have to do. It's not like the old adage of those who want to delay and push off and procrastinate. They say, don't do today what you can put off till tomorrow. Tomorrow, you may be able to get out of it. Okay, but that's not the way we are supposed to live. We have our lives. We have things to do. Do it. Go out and do it. So the parsha starts off, Tzav es Aaron, command Aaron, and let him take care of the Trumas Hadeshin, let him take care of the things that were necessary to do on the Mizbeach, on the altar, clean up the ash from the burnt sacrifices from yesterday, get it ready for today, and so on and so forth. This parsha is like a continuation from last week's parsha Vayikra. Vayikra has the laws of all the sacrifices, the korban olah, the burnt offering. It has the korban mincha, the peace offering, not the peace offering, the mincha it's called. It's a flour offering. And then it has the laws of the peace offering. Then it has the laws of the sin offering. Then it has a osham, which is a different type of sin offering. This week's parsha fills in everything that wasn't said last week. It goes back to certain items and whatnot. And one of the interesting things Reb Noson brings about the sacrifices themselves, or about the temple service, about our devotions to Hashem in general. He says, why does it have to go back and forth? Why don't you just take the order? And these are the laws of this, and these are the laws of this, and these are the laws of this, and why do you have to push things off for the next parsha and then go back and supplement or complement or whatever it may be? Why? And Reb Noson says a very beautiful thing. How many times in life have you started something but weren't able to continue? How many times has that happened? You start something, you put your efforts in, it just doesn't work out. That's why the Torah keeps on going back and forth. That's why the Talmud goes back and forth. Because there are things you start, you can't finish. Don't give up. The message is never, never give up. You encourage those who want to be encouraged. You want to do it. Of course you want to do it. So you put your efforts into it in order to be able to do it. And you'll try. And you know what happens? You might even succeed. But what do you do if you don't succeed? Shelve it. But don't give up on it. Put it aside. Don't have to push and force the issue. Forcing the issue is never, never good. Right? Reb Noson, in a different discourse, writes a very beautiful thing. It's a lengthy discourse, but we'll sum it up now in a few words. He says, there's something called Kol HaDoichek Es HaShoah, whoever pushes the time, whoever forces the issue, HaShoah Doich Kosoi, the hour, the issue will end up pushing him. And he says, take a look in the Chumash. anyone who ever forced an issue, there was something that went wrong. Avraham Avinu, Abraham, Hashem told him, you're going to have children and you're going to inherit the land. He didn't question him about the children. But when Hashem promised him the land, Avraham asked, with what will I know that I'm going to inherit the land? With what? He wanted to force Hashem to reveal to him which merit or which time element or whatever. At that moment, they had the covenant of the halves, when Avraham Avinu was told, because you blemished, because you kind of forced an issue, your children will be servants, slaves in the country 400 years until Paro lets them out. Yitzchak was anxious. He thought he may die. So he says to Esav, go out and get me something so I can give you a blessing. He wanted to put the blessing on Esav. And because of that, Esav ended up with a blessing which has been harmful to the Jewish nation all the years. He's raped, he's plundered, he's killed, he's murdered, and so on. Yaakov Avinu wanted to force an issue, and when he tried to force the issue, well, Yosef ended up in slavery. Yosef was his favorite, so to speak. That's what the Chumash is telling us, Genesis 37. But Yaakov tried to force the issue with Bilhah, Rachel's servant, after Rachel passed away. And Rachel passed away, and whatever, he forced an issue. Reuven, his eldest son, forced an issue with that. And Moshe Rabbeinu, even Moshe Rabbeinu, when Hashem, the end of Parsha Shmos, right? It's the last verse in chapter 5, the first verse in chapter 6. Moshe says to Hashem, why did you do bad to these people? From the moment I came to Paro, he's just enslaved them more. And Hashem says, now you will see the salvation. Now. But you won't see the salvation of them getting into the land. King David, he took Bathsheba. Now the Gemara says Bathsheba was really David's intended wife from the days of creation. But he forced the issue with Uriah, and because of that he lost his first son, so on and so forth. Reb Noson is explaining that when you force an issue, you have to encourage yourself. You have to try. You have to put effort. But there are times when you have to just lay back and wait and wait and wait. And if you do that, you exercise patience. You don't force an issue. Don't force the children. Don't force the wife. Don't force your parents. Don't force. Just do what you can and do it right. And Hashem will help, that you'll see the Yeshuas, you'll see the salvations that you have. This comes to Shabbat Hagadol, where we got to clean up the house from Pesach, especially this year, because Pesach is Monday night, so you don't have time after Shabbos to really clean the whole house and get ready for the Seder. So you got to start a little bit earlier. You should start now, right after Purim, but okay, you can do it this week. This week is enough time. If you're diligent and you are encouraged, you'll be able to clean up the Chametz. The Chametz that we have to face, Rebbe Nachman explains, is not just leavened bread, it's not just wheat products or stuff like that. No. Chametz means anything that rises, right? Your matzah doesn't rise, it remains flat. Chametz, bread, rises. When you bake it, you cook it, whatever you do with it, baking, really. It rises. Rebbe Nachman says you allow your mind to ferment. That's a pretty rough thing. You have a mind, you have a beautiful mind, you have a wonderful mind, but if you allow it to ferment with foreign thoughts, with immoral thoughts, or with atheisms or whatnot, you keep those thoughts in your mind. That way what you're doing is fermenting your mind and keeping that full of chametz. That is absolutely forbidden too. We have to do the best we can, and we have to try to see that our minds remain clean. You were cleaning out the chametz not from just our houses, but from our own personal house, from our sanctuary, from our bodies, from our hearts, from our minds. And if we do that, we've really earned a clean house. The Arizal says that whoever is careful of even a drop of chametz during Pesach is guaranteed that he will be forgiven his sins and he will be cleansed for the year, for the whole year. He'll be cleansed if he cleanses his mind and his heart as well as his home for Pesach. So may Hashem help. We encourage ourselves. We do the right job. We do the right thing. And with that, Be'ez Hashem, we'll be okay. You should all have a great Pesach, a great Shabbat Hagadol, a great Pesach, a great holiday, a great vacation. I'm also on vacation. You won't see me next week. Hopefully, we'll get together the week after Pesach. All the best. Have a good Shabbos, a great Pesach, and let there be a salvation for the entire Am Yisrael, the entire Jewish nation. Amen.